Our next film has already had rave reviews and is getting a lot of Oscars buzz. Lion is based on a true story and is a beautiful film. It's an Australian, UK and US co-production, and it's based on the true life story of 5-year-old Saru. He gets lost on a train station in India. His journey sees him taken to Australia with adoptive parents. 25 years later, he returns to India to find his biological family. This one has a huge Australian flavour. David Wenham is in there. It's directed by Australian Garth Davis, but the big buzz is around Nicole Kidman co-starring with Dev Patel. Now, we were lucky enough to get a spot on the red carpet at the State Theatre for the Australian premiere, rubbing shoulders with some of the greats. Undoubtedly one of the most beautiful buildings in Australia for what is going to be one of the biggest movie releases of the year. The State Theatre for the Australian premiere of Lion. This is going to be an emotional journey. It's Nicole Kidman and Dev Patel like you've never seen them before. And tonight, the stars have come out to play.
Emil said, you've got to read this book because this is the film you need to make next.
Yeah, we came across an article, a few articles on it. It was already sort of a little bit known, but not hugely well known as a story. We were in Sundance Film Festival for Top of the Lake, a TV series we did with Garth. And we just had this feeling that Garth was going to knock this out of the ballpark.
Do you remember the first time someone spoke to you about the idea of making your story into a film?
We thought, well, this would be great, and it happened.
Well, the notion's always been floating around,
yes.
And there's been many blogs before the film came out of people would say that this would make a fantastic movie, and I think, you know, as much as we wanted it to be a movie, a motion picture, the people wanted it to be a picture as well.
The red carpet at the State Theatre, it's always a pretty special moment.
It's not bad. Yeah, it is. And it's a beautiful cinema too. So beautiful cinema for a beautiful film.
That's why this premiere is special, because it's home turf and all of the people, our families that have supported us making it are all here. So it's their night.
And it's a film full of hope, which is a good thing at this time of the year.
He really works from the ground up in terms of location, and we wanted to make a really authentic film, so we actually ended up shooting a lot of the stuff in the actual place where the things took place, which meant we were in kind of quite remote parts of India, so it was really tricky because there wasn't infrastructure. We kind of had to bring everything in.
The story and the emotion is true to life?
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's there isn't a part in there that isn't really.
What's so amazing is that just behind you is Saru and his parents.
Yeah, look at him. Yeah. He's so handsome, isn't he?
They would need to find a very handsome man to play him.
Oh, they got really low standards. That's why I got the part, so I'm very lucky. Yeah, I mean, I respect him so much, and he's the reason we're all here, in a way.
Yeah.
So, it's a beautiful full circle moment to be here with the family.
And he's absolutely nailed the Australian accent.
God, I've never put 8 months into my Australian accent, but he certainly did, and yeah, he nails it. He's amazing, and it's sort of evident in the performance.
Nicole was very generous, very open. Every rehearsal idea she embraced. She had such a personal connection to this film. She's so personally invested in this story. So, and hence you see it in those amazing performances.
I've spent quite a bit of time with her now, and we've talked about a lot of things. I really, truly wish that more people would consider looking after a child that's already here, which has always been my dream since childhood, really. So I'm glad we could fulfil that.
What a thrill. I just met Sue. What a remarkable lady.
Isn't she amazing?
She said you guys have become quite good friends.
I love her. She's just so warm, and I just get her, and she gets me, and I think that's rare that happens in life, and we happen to meet through this film, but she's just really special. Yeah, well, I mean, I think Garth, he was the one that pulled it all together. He's the magic man here.
Well,
and I'm just glad he's being celebrated. I'm so glad the film got nominated for a Golden Globe. And
yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, because that's such an acknowledgement of him and his talent, and also the Australian film industry, that they had the guts to make this film and think that it would work and that it would work on an international level. I'm just really, really proud to be a part of it.
Have a great summer. Merry Christmas
Yeah.
and Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you.
And you got a red carpet at the State Theatre. What a magnificent
Awesome,
place.
right? Gosh, great way to end the year.
Well, there they are. Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban on the red carpet here at the State Theatre in Sydney for the Australian premiere of Lion. Word on the street is take tissues when you go and see it. This one is very emotional. It's in cinemas right around Australia from January 19.
Let's start with where you're from.
Calcutta.
Which part?
I'm adopted, I'm not really Indian. I'm starting to remember.
Saru, you're a beautiful boy.
We're very proud of you, son.
A life I'd forgotten.
Are you okay?
I had another family. A mother. A brother. I can still see their faces.
Hi. Hi. How are you?
Good.
So, I mean, you must be particularly proud to be representing Lion because, you know, not only is it a wonderful story and a wonderful role, but it's the Australian
have to
film
say
industry.
that. No.
Come on. You've got to be supporting the Aussies. It's great.
I'm so happy to be sitting here talking about an Australian film, yes.
Yeah.
And it's great that it's getting such a great response.
I mean, what is it like when you go home and shoot with an Australian crew?
I love going home. I mean, I've always said, obviously, the crews there are the best in the world, and I've worked with most of the people on the cruise since I was little, so they've seen me grow up. So that's a very nice feeling.
It's a really, really special film, and there were even more special people involved. And they went about it with a real soulfulness and sensitivity. It's like it's a consuming life experience that you're so lucky to have,
You okay?
I'm lost.
What do you think it is, the story with Saru, that touches everyone? Because people are literally walking out of theatres crying.
It's just a story about unity and love, and it's mothers and sons, you know. It makes you want to come out of the movie and call your mother or your father or your siblings.
The themes of it are, Luke Davies, the writer, says it so beautifully. He says the themes are about motherhood and memory. And they're two incredibly strong mythical themes that when you combine them in this storytelling, that plays into such a deep part of our psyche as human beings, memory and mothering.
Hello, I'm Swamina.
Hello, I'm John. This is Sue.
Hello there.
Yeah, that's for you.
I was sort of the first thing I said to Garth is, can I meet with Sue? Will she meet with me? And she was so open and so loving and just shared everything with me, and I was able to sort of tell her anything, and I would tell her anything. She's that kind of woman where you just feel very safe with her.
How much did you consult Saru? And I mean, sometimes it's hard when you do know the real person.
Yeah.
I mean, is it easier?
I hadn't met him before we started filming, but I'd been obsessively watching him for my audition. So I'd seen all his Google Talks and all these speeches he'd done. I'm never going to look like him, so you just want to capture his essence, you know, and his pain and his struggle. I loved spending time with him, and a lot of our conversations were about the guilt. You know, he was a product of so much love, and he was guilty. He was living this privileged life, and his mother could still be scouring the train tracks, you know, with his brother every evening, and so that was a driving force for him.
Saru! You need to face reality!
What do you mean, reality? Do you have any idea what it's like knowing my real brother and mother spent every day of their lives looking for me? Huh? How every day my real brother screams my name. Can you imagine the pain they must be in not knowing where I am? Huh? 25 years, Luce. 25!
He is so resilient and never gave up, you know, trying to find his original mother. And, you know, you have this loving family in Australia, this one pillar of love, and then you have this other loving mother in India, this other pillar, and you have this roof that connects them both, this boy. And it's so complex.